Alright guys, what is going on? It is May 12th, about 9:10 right now. Very hectic morning. Had to wake up, do my check-in photos and check-in form, did cardio, and then I had about 20 minutes to shower, cook breakfast, and get all that ready. That way I could go meet my mom and rest of my family at church for Mother's Day. We got my protein coffee. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's in my lap right now in a mug because I don't have like anything with a lid on it. So it's between my lap and I'm really hoping it doesn't spill. And if you aren't doing protein coffee, I highly recommend it. It tastes really fucking good. Usually I use HD Muscle's Sweet Cream Cold Brew coffee and it mixes really well and tastes really good because it's Sweet Cream Cold Brew, obviously. But right now I have First Form's, it's like a cinnamon cookie flavor and fuck me, dude, it's fucking delicious. And then I got the rest of my food, like, you guys probably can't see it, sitting in here in like bins because I got to eat it while I'm driving since I was in a rush and everything. But check-ins went very well. But oh fuck, we gotta get gas too. I got 5 miles till E. I don't know if you guys are the type of people that like you constantly are filling up your tank to make sure it's full, but I wait till that motherfucker is almost on E for some reason. I think because I'm just lazy, or I just forget, or I'm always in a rush, and I'm like, I don't want to take the time to do it right now, and then it fucks me over later on whenever I am in an even bigger rush, and I gotta get fucking gas. So we're gonna go get gas as well. But yeah, check-ins went good, 190.6 pounds, but I have a feeling my coach is gonna up my food today, so I've been hovering around the same weight, and I'm a little nervous for it, just because I'm at the point in the growing phase where eating is not really, it's not fun. You know, last 3 meals of the day, I eat 6 total. Last 3 meals are a little bit rough, but it's mainly been rough because I've been a little bit constipated, and that's because I haven't been eating my greens most likely. My coach said start implementing either a greens powder or eating my greens, because whenever you're in a growing phase, you're already eating so much food, you don't want to eat fucking vegetables on top of that. Like whenever you're cutting, vegetables are great. This is just like extra food you get to eat, and you can make them taste pretty good. Like I like Brussels sprouts with like garlic salt and stuff on it, but so we're gonna start implementing that and see if that fixes it. And I think, you know, if it does and the constipation thing gets fixed, then I think it'll be pretty easy to get the food in, because I've been hungry. It's just that since I'm not shitting as much and I'm bloated, I don't want to eat. But like the hunger part is there. I don't know if that makes sense, but a lot of people make that mistake whenever they're bulking. They think that they're not able to eat enough food because it's just too much food or whatever the fuck, but the reality is they're not eating clean foods on an actual plan. Sorry, I'm driving really slow so my coffee doesn't spill. They're not eating clean foods on a plan. They eat out, eat all this junk food and shit because they're bulking, and they fuck up their gut and they're bloated and don't shit as much as they should be. And so in turn, they aren't hungry enough and they can't eat enough food. But I'm telling you, if you get that shit fixed, you can eat enough food. And even if it's too much food, that's what a growing phase is. That's why it's hard. That's why not everybody can get big. That's what makes getting big special. It's because it's difficult. It's fucking hard. So you just gotta power through that shit and shovel the food down. Hold on, I gotta fill up the gas tank real quick. But yeah, if you're struggling to get food in a growing phase, make sure you're drinking enough water, make sure you're taking probiotic in the morning, make sure you're getting enough fiber and all that stuff. That way you're shitting enough so that you can actually be hungry enough to grow. I love driving this car. $4.70 for gas. I don't think we're gonna fill it up the whole way because I'm in a rush and I feel like it's not worth it. Actually, no, Seth. Quit being stupid. It takes an extra 3 minutes. Just fill the tank up and you'll be good for a while. But yeah, this is the current situation. The bagel container is underneath this one. Got the coffee mug sandwiched there. That way I don't spill coffee on my floor. It's already gone now. But yeah, man, there's no fucking excuses. Get your fucking food in. It's time to grow, motherfucker. Alrighty, guys. So food has been eaten. I'm driving through this stupid fucking park right now, and it's like miles of 15 miles per hour, which is just, it's painful to drive that slow. But today's video, we're gonna be talking about things you need to know for your first cycle. I've already done 2 videos on kind of how you should know if you should hop on gear to begin with. But this video is going to be on if you've already determined, yeah, you want to hop on gear, then the things you need to know for that first cycle. And honestly, at the end of the day, a lot of guys have low test today and don't even realize it, and they deal with all of these side effects and issues from low test, and they never even know, because a lot of doctors try to avoid the fact that it's because they have low testosterone. Like, for example, when I was 18 years old, I had low testosterone and I dealt with all kinds of issues. My dick wasn't working right? 18 years old, dick wasn't working right, low confidence, depression, fatigue, all this shit. And I went to an endocrinologist and they saw that I had low test, but it was within like the range or whatever, right? The range is like super wide. So my test sure was normal for like a 70, 80-year-old man, but because it was in the range, they said I was fine. So sure enough, whenever I did hop on test, everything worked fine and I was good to fucking go. So we're gonna be talking about that and testosterone in general, but I'm gonna finish driving to church and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Just finished up at church and it was great. Never a bad day at church, but today in church we talked about dealing with toxic people in your life, and we used the story of Saul and David. If you don't know what that story is, basically Saul was the king at the time, and at first he was a really good king, and he started to get insecure and started to become a bad king. So then God told the prophet Samuel to find the new king, and he went, found David as a young teenager. Whenever David became of age, he joined the army and started doing really well, and Saul started to become jealous of him, tried to kill him like twice, and then King Saul decided, I'm going to send him to war against the Philistines and have them kill him. They didn't kill him, so then David went into hiding with 600 of his men in a cave in the desert. King Saul went out with 3,000 men over 4 years to go try and find him, and King Saul went into the cave they were hiding in to take a leak pretty much, and David had the opportunity to try to kill him, and he cut off a piece of his robe, but he decided not to kill him even though all of his men were telling him to, because he determined it wasn't God's timing for him to become king yet. He wasn't going to take matters into his own hands and disobey the Lord. So then whenever King Saul turned around, he bowed down, said, "My king." And then David pretty much said, "Those who do evil deeds are evildoers." So pretty much saying, you know, if I try to kill you now, I'm no better than you. And King Saul pretty much told him, you know, you're more righteous than me. You're going to be a great king of Israel and all this stuff. And then later he tries to kill him a couple more times. And then King Saul went back to the kingdom with his men, but David did not go with him. So pretty much the moral of the story was, do not dishonor people that are dishonoring you, right? You don't have to respect them. You don't have to be close to them, but do not dishonor them. Do not actively go out of your way to harm them like you're harming you, because then you're no better than them. And now you are becoming the toxic person as well. Like, for example, if somebody is verbally insulting you or something, a lot of times we get the urge to insult them back and belittle them and try to bring them down as well. But if we do that, we're no better than them. We're just adding toxicity to the relationship. And you're much better off treating them with honor and just keeping your distance and being like, all right, if you're going to treat me like that, I'm not going to be close to you, and I'm not going to put myself in a position where you can dishonor me, but don't add to the toxicity. Because whenever you dishonor people like that and you add to the toxicity of the situation, you're not only harming the other person, but you're also harming your soul. You're becoming a toxic person. You're becoming bitter. That feeling after you belittle someone and you insult them, even if they did it first, it's never a good feeling. You always feel bad about yourself afterwards. And you're like, oh, that left like a, for lack of a better word, like an icky feeling inside of me. I just don't feel good about that. It was negative. You know, I by no means am perfect. I definitely have fallen into this before plenty of times, people coming at me, and you know, I feel the need to belittle them and make them feel small and bring them down because they tried to bring me down first. But you know, at the end of the day, I never feel great about that. Sometimes it leads to us having a good conversation and coming to a better understanding. I feel a whole lot better whenever I keep my calm. I don't try to belittle them, and I actually try to have a discussion with them. And a lot of times, you know, if I stay calm, they'll actually hear me out and listen to me. And I end up turning someone who was a hater of mine into someone who now likes me because I stayed calm. I didn't add to the toxicity. I honored them. I tried to understand where they were coming from, and we were able to have a discussion because of it. And you feel a whole lot better after that. So moral of the story, don't be a toxic person, man. We're all working on it. It's something that's very hard to do. Our ego gets in the way a lot of times. Hold on. It's something that's very hard to do. Our ego gets in the way a lot of times. Whenever someone belittles us and tries to make us feel small, we want to do it right back to them because we want to feel big or whatever. But it's something to work on because you're going to be a better man because of it. and you're gonna be more respected, and you're gonna feel better about yourself. All right, guys, so whenever it comes to doing your first cycle, there's really only a couple things you need to know. The first one, your first cycle should only be testosterone, right? You don't wanna throw in multiple compounds because you don't even know how you're gonna react to test yet. So if you have negative side effects, if there's multiple compounds in there, you aren't gonna know what they're coming from, okay? So test only. Then your second cycle, you can throw something in, and if a negative side effect pops up and you didn't have any on test, you know it's coming from that second compound, and you can kind of pinpoint what it is. The second thing you need to know is do not throw an AI prematurely and start off slow with it. If you start to notice estrogenic side effects like acne, lethargy, things like that, then you're gonna wanna start to implement an AI like Aromasin, and you're gonna wanna start to use it slowly and taper your way up until the side effects go away, because crashed E2 is just as bad, if not worse, than high E2, right? I was there, I've done that. I always thought like, oh, the estrogen is like the woman hormone, you know, the less of it, the better. And so I crashed my E2 whenever I had estrogenic side effects, and it fucking sucked. I felt like shit for like 4 or 5 days, and it was horrible. Sorry, my shoulder hurts right now holding this camera up. So yeah, slowly implement that. Now your last 6-8 weeks, you can implement some Anavar or Anadrol, depending on what you're doing. And for your first cycle, don't forget, you're gonna wanna start lean. You don't wanna start your first cycle at a high body fat percentage. You wanna start out at a nice lean spot, so that way you're ready to grow, because the main purpose of gear is to grow. It's gonna enhance the amount of muscle you put on. The only point in really running high doses of gear in a cut is if you're in prep, maybe you're on a vacation, have a photo shoot, something like that. Otherwise, you just need to cruise whenever you are cutting. And then pretty much what you're gonna do is you're going to blast for 4 to 5 months, high dose of test, and then you're gonna do like a 2-3 month cut, as long as you didn't get too fat, on a TRT dose, like 200 milligrams per week, and then another blast to grow, and then another cut, and keep going until you're as big as you wanna be. But we all know that will never happen. You're just gonna wanna keep getting bigger. Get blood work before your first cycle, get blood work after the cycle, and then get blood work after you cruise, and then blood work after your bulk. That way you're keeping that stuff in check. Next thing you need to know, take all your vitamins, take all your ancillaries to keep your organs healthy, a liver guard, kidney guard, something for your heart. I can make a video going over all the vitamins and stuff that I take if you guys would want to see that. But protect your organs, they're important, and you're doing something that is going to be harming your health, so you want to do everything you can in order to maintain your health. That means eating clean foods as well. Whenever you're running a cycle, if you're going to be harming your health, you want to get the most out of it. Eat your food, grow, and get fucking huge, man. Don't waste it. Don't be a pussy ass little bitch. And then if you're running tests, you're probably gonna be running cypionate or enanthate, a longer ester. So pin twice a week. If you want to, you can pin every day. That'll help not have any fluctuations in your test levels. Personally, whenever I'm just using test, I just do twice a week, Monday, Thursday. That works for me. 25 gauge pin, 1 inch, and I'm good to go. And yeah, basically whenever it comes to your first cycle, that's pretty much all you need to know. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And yeah, so other than that, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something.